Hey guys, I'm going to show you how I app smash a few apps together to create a green screen video. I use iMovie, so this is my iMovie app on my iPad here. This is a long production we're making about our house system. So if I click on edit, it's going to show you kind of all the things I've been adding into this one. So I use TouchCast. Which I'll show you how I use that, but we use TouchCast to do the initial recording, which is how these students are able to look like they're in a studio. Once I dump that into iMovie, I always add the theme soundtrack, which I make sure that we're set on the news theme. And I always fade in and out to black. And I always make sure that the speed changes with pitch. So that means that I add this music down here, which is like a broadcast kind of music. And when no sound is going on in the video, that music will get louder. When there is sound, it will get quieter. Okay, so I'll show you kind of what this video is looking like.
Hello, Washington Middle School. I'm Ethan Bridges. I'm Cameron, and we are here to tell you about the new house system at Washington Middle School.
So you can see that transition right there is the news transition. So anytime that I want to change that, I just click on the transition and pick what I want it to be. I try to keep it with the theme. So our theme is news, just so that it's newsy. So these are all what I did within TouchCast. And then I had to chop it up because the boys might have messed up and we had to get that part out, or we switched camera positions, so it could be any of those reasons. When we get here, I then just recorded this with iMovie, or just with my video camera on my iPad. So this one, we had our principal and one of our news anchors, and he just kind of had some questions prepared. You can see he's looking. On TouchCast, they have a teleprompter, so they're actually just reading, but because the teleprompter moves with them, it doesn't look like they're reading. Ethan was used to that, and then when he got on here, and this is just me recording him, he doesn't have that teleprompter. So, and you can see Miss Hale's looking at it right there too. I put up a little whiteboard on an easel, and we write down like things that they need to be really specific about. So when I record these, I write just a couple of things on a whiteboard that they can reference. This one they've referenced more than others because she's saying like students' names there. So on this one, I'll just record it like normal. This is a microphone that's not hooked up to anything, just to make us look a little bit more professional. And then when I dump this into iMovie, I add the text at the bottom, and I do the news. It will be like our theme one that we do. So, and I just add it there and type that way it just looks a little bit more professional. Okay, so you can also add images into your iMovie as well. So I use iMovie no matter what other app I would be using to create any kind of production. I'm probably going to always dump it into iMovie because it's so easy to split it, add those transitions, add titles and words if you want to. So for this one, and I'll put the link to this video, I'll give that to Vanda so y'all can watch this finished video to kind of see how this all works. But we just adopted the house system, and so this is our principal talking about the house system, and then this is Cameron talking about how the Shake class, which is an elective class that we have, worked really hard to learn about each house, and then they're going to tell us about it. So then before we get into the video, I have this photo that just kind of, and you can see the photo itself is this big, long, like document size photo, but it zooms into this size. So I just wanted them to see Amistad, the crest here, and then it will show like the language, the heritage, and their symbolic animal, and then it jumps into the video.
My friends and I are members of the Red House.
So these students memorized some facts about the Red House. This was the very first video we got to make using our green screen that we added in the library. You can kind of see right here between these two students, you can see like the brick wall. But other than that, this is the absolute best green screen as far as quality. We're not like fading as bad on the edges of the students. I was able to fit 4 students. That's crazy. You'll see in the other videos how I can just barely get 2. And we even had to split up the video so that just 2 students were speaking at a time. So we had to do a lot of cuts because we had to get them all in there. So this would be another example of how we're using our green screen. We're using our green screen here. The students are sitting in front of it and we're using that TouchCast app. But then here we're also using that green screen. This app that we're using to do this kind of green screen work is called Green Ink, and I'll show you that too. This is just me doing some videoing outside and then being able to dump that into iMovie. See, this one you can see, this is our little pop-up screen that we have. You can see the edge of it right there. And this wasn't too bad of a day. And actually this screen is blue, not green, because Issa Bendi's house colors are green, and so their shirts would have been see-through. And then we go, but see how I can only fit 2 on that one. Then we go into another dance, another photo. Here's another green screen, and you can see how it's faded here really bad. This is a problem I was getting a lot when I was using the pop-up green screen, and that's what led me to wanting to have the wall that's green so that I could use it better. And then here's our blue team, and you can see I was able to do 3 there, but mostly I can just do 2. Those boys didn't mind sitting really close. And then we have our video, and then we finish with our final news anchor saying like, have a great day. So we'd used a lot of apps within this video. We used TouchCast, Green Ink, and iMovie to create this video. So let me show you a little bit about how those work. And so you can see how I work on each video within iMovie and then add it to that house system. Okay guys, now I'm gonna walk you through how I use TouchCast. So this is what the app looks like. TouchCast was actually designed to be a lot more than what I use it for. It's meant to be like a live video that you interact with, so you can like add questions and do polls, and your audience is watching live and interacting with it. But that's not how we use it. I love the great built-in green screen, and you can see this is the one that we use, the new studio. But as I was just looking through here, I thought this would be super fun to incorporate the talk show, and then this live from wherever lets you do a green screen behind you too. So that might be something I want to play around with more too. I've used this for years, but I just always only use this one. So it tells you that you need a green screen. I usually put in this will come up on the bottom banner. So I usually do like WMS Newscast October or whenever we're messing with it. So it's messing up right now, and you can see I have the camera facing the front and it's filling in. I'm not even behind a green screen, but you can see how it's fading in and out and having some issues. So it will work better, obviously, if you have a green screen. My favorite part about TouchCast is down here, the camera. You go teleprompt and you can edit, and you just type what you want the teleprompter to say. I usually will type it up in an email and email it to myself, and then copy the text on my iPad and paste it in here. And then when you record, it will just move this teleprompter. So I put this iPad on a stand, and I'll walk you and kind of show you that setup, and the kids just read it. And if they mess up, I just move it down, and I know to edit that part out when we're doing iMovie. When you pause, you'll notice that the screen then zoomed in. So if I'm usually doing one news anchor, I'll make sure that we're on this screen, because later in iMovie, I'm going to add a little square here and have like video of whatever they're talking about scrolling through like a real newscast. So I will link a good newscast that we've done where it shows you how to do that. And you can see, if I take my teleprompter off, you can see the subtitle and title I put are right there. So always make sure you actually name that something pretty good. If you need to change any of your settings there, and honestly, I don't mess with a whole lot other than what I've just shown you. When you're done, hit done, and then it breaks it down for you. I export, I don't even mess with it, name it something, and I save to my camera roll. I'm going to try to do a better job of holding the camera still. It's very hard to video a screen. I'm going to show you how to do those edits within iMovie because it was by far the hardest thing I had to learn to do. And then even after I did it, I still had to look it up a few times because I couldn't remember. So within your iMovie app, you're going to pick your video that you did. I saved a video from a long time ago to give us a really good example. So this was a video that I was working on with some kids. So you can see, like, so right here, this is where they're off center. I'm going to put it on Faith, and I'm going to pretend that so I selected the video, and this is how I'm going to make my edits. I want to split it because I want to detach these two things. Remember this transition, this is where you pick your transition. This is not a transition. I would want it to be that theme transition, but I need to check and make sure my theme would be on news for that. Okay, so now I've got this little bit here of Faith, and then it gets to, so I guess she stops about right there, so split, and then we'll pretend that so we're just working with this one little piece right here. Okay, we're going to pretend that Faith is talking about state testing, and so I want a graphic about state testing right here. So to do that, I would need to create a graphic. Probably I would use Canva if I were you. And then let me show you how I did that. So I created a graphic, and then I created an iMovie, brand new iMovie, where the only thing I put in it was that graphic. And I made sure that the graphic, sometimes it will like do it where it zooms in or zooms out. I want to make sure that through the entire time I can see the graphic really well. Right now I've done something to where it's like not moving at all. Let's do the in position, move it this way. So now it should be moving a little bit. So as we're going forward, we're moving the screen. Okay, so but we have what we've just done though is turned this image into a video. Okay, so let me go back to my sample project I was working on here. So this part with Faith is what I want to have the state testing in here. So to do that, I select this little piece, do video, recently added, find that state testing one that I did. And here's the trick. I followed a tech lady who I love, and she always talks about the magic is in the 3 dots. So this will be in the 3 dots here, and I'm going to do picture in a picture. And when I do that, it puts that picture, it perfectly puts it right there. You can see that it's a little bit longer here in this transition. So you can see, which probably for me, I would edit that out, but I want it just to be as long as her piece. So if I hold it, I can kind of center it better on where it's just on that part. So, and then that's how you edit it with that little picture in picture. It's so awesome. It makes us look really fancier than we are. And it's just so tricky to do. So the things to remember is that make sure you have it split off with transitions on either side. And then make sure you've turned your picture into a video. Now, if you have a video, you could also have the video playing in there, but this picture within a picture, this one won't have sound. It will be the sound from this one. So something to keep in mind, but definitely, like if I had a video of like kids taking their test, which we obviously can't do that, I could put that there, and if I didn't want just the graphic. So lots of options. Green ink is what I use to do our just regular green screen videos. It has taken me a very long time to get used to how this works, and I'm always finding myself going back to this sample project, and there are so many things that you can do with this app that I know that I haven't even touched the surface of. So I'm very excited. I don't like all these extra projects. I'm very, very excited to continue to learn more about it, because in the sample project, she has like animations going across the screen. It's really cool. So you can see I'm just looking at my computer here, but in this one, I think we need to start. Let me show you starting from scratch. So you create a new project. I always go to the very bottom, and this is what I want my like green screen to be. So these are just some images that I have on this iPad. Well, Blue House is my house, so we'll use Blue House. So when I actually made this in Canva, because I wanted this to be the background, and I expected that the students would be kind of here. So this was the picture I made specifically for that. If you were doing like a weather cast, you could just take a screenshot of like a weather map or something. And and then I could hit done. So that's my screen. It's set for, it like runs this photo for a really, really long time, which is great because I think that's been an update. I used to use this app when it was like really small, and then as you're recording the video and your green screen will just go away. So it's great that this is set for a really long time. This next plus sign is going to be where I always add my camera. So right now it just looks like a regular camera because we don't have a green screen there. But this is very weird to video an iPad. But if I move it, so here's my green screen wall. If I move this to the green screen, you'll see that anywhere that's green will have that image that I've put. So you can see my purple wall, when I move it over there, it doesn't work. So, but anywhere I have my green screen, it will pop up. So it's so awesome. Loving this green screen. And then you just record your video on this app. So like that's when I would have recorded the students doing their little presentation. I would hit record video, it counts it down for them, then it records it. And then when you're done, you hit the stop button, and then I usually save to my camera roll because I'm probably gonna wanna, they've messed up somewhere, they're gonna wanna edit, so I can open iMovie, do a movie, and then pick whichever video I just did so that I can chop it up and make the additions that I want to make, the edits that I want to make. I know this is a lot of information really fast. My best advice would be to get in there and play around and trial and error, kind of figure it out. That's my best advice for life in general, especially when it comes to technology and like production like this. You can see that I've kept this to just the projects that we're currently working on. Besides this band video, which I think I can get rid of it, all of these videos were inside this video. So I leave them here until all the editing is done, because if I want to make any changes and that video is not somewhere on my device, it like takes it out where you can't make the edits. So, but because I obviously don't have an unlimited amount of storage space on this iPad, I keep it with just whatever videos are on the current project that I'm working on. I know that's a lot of information, but just get in there and play around with it. You're always welcome to email or text or call if you have any questions. I'd love to help.